Hello, once again, hockey fans. It is playoff time. Yeah, as promised, and I told you guys this in my last video, we finally have poetzy here. All right, so this is Andrew Poetsinger, guys. He's going to be with me for the rest of the playoff run for the Hawks here. Well, pretty much the rest of the playoffs, because once the Hawks are done, if they're done, we're going to continue doing this no matter what. So we'll take it over to Poetzy here for a second. Have him introduce himself to you guys so you guys can hear his beautiful voice. And he'll give you guys a little brief explanation of who he is.
Wait, you want me to sing a song too?
No, you don't have to sing a song.
You don't want me to sing a song? Okay. Well, yeah, I'm Poetzy. First name Andy, last name Petsinger. The O is silent in there. A lot of people don't know that, but I do like the nickname Poetzy. I play on the same team here as TJ here and Bobby Moe. I am his goaltender, unwillingly so.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, there's that. All right, guys.
I just put it right out there for you.
Yeah. Wow. Well, we're just gonna be blunt apparently here. All right, guys. So, like I said, it's playoff time, and we are going to be giving you guys today. We're gonna go over the conference or the playoff matchups, kind of give our opinion on who's gonna beat who. Western and Eastern Conference. We're also going to give you our winners for the second and the conference finals, and also our Stanley Cup champion pick. Mm-hmm. And hey guys, it might not be the Hawks, it might be the Hawks, but you guys will find out in a couple minutes here. After that, we're going to break down this Hawks Predators series, talk about some key players going into that game for both teams, and also we got some Kaner talk today, guys. Great news out of today. We got some great news today about Kaner, so it's going to be a good show here. So let's start it off here in the Western Conference. First round, you got your number 1 seed, St. Louis Blues, boo, playing the number 4 seed, Minnesota Wild. Poetzy, who do you think he takes this round?
Oh, I got St. Louis.
Yeah, I think we both are pretty clear on St. Louis winning this one. Yeah. But why do you think that?
It's going to be a rough one. It's going to be lots of blood. It's going to be nasty. It's going to be like 1990s Blues North Stars kind of nasty. It's going to be...
That's some nasty stuff.
Yeah, that's nasty. It's going to be a good series to watch, but I think St. Louis is going to come out of there with it. On the sole fact, this is my big thing. I know you got yours, but my big thing is that Devin Dubnyk has played almost 40 straight games in a row. I'm sorry, that ended against the Predators, but it's almost 40 games in a row. The guy's dead. He got pulled in the last game of the year, which actually meant something. They were trying to win that game so they can get the 3rd spot and take the Hawks down to the wild card spot. Devin Dubnyk let up 3 in 14 shots against the Blues. Granted, it was Tarasenko and Steen's first game back, yada, yada, yada. I don't think of it that way. I think he's cashed. I think he's done, and they wore him out.
Yeah, now my only thought with that, though, because Dubnyk's been playing very well since he's come in. I mentioned the last podcast that I had, which I forgot to post for you guys. My bad. Thanks, YouTube. But I mentioned this in the last one that Dubnyk's 18-1-1 when on the road, and that's the only reason I have this going 6 games. But I still think St. Louis is going to come out on top. I think the fact that they have Tarasenko and Steen back in the lineup, along with Pietrangelo back. I don't think he's back yet.
I thought I heard his name in the last game.
I think he might be back. But along with some key players like that, that's going to be a big one. We're going to skip this next series because that's Hawks Nashville. We're just going to kind of...
That's for last.
We're saving that one for last, guys. All right, so we got Anaheim and Winnipeg. Mm-hmm. I know we have different thoughts on this one.
We have the same outcome.
We have the same outcome,
but not the same feeling.
Yeah.
About it.
So I have Anaheim dominating Winnipeg. I think Winnipeg needed a team like the Blackhawks to play or Nashville to play in the playoffs because they like to bang bodies. They got big guys on their team. Buffalin's going to be a huge factor in that. And then, they have a lot of former Blackhawks players on their team. Not a lot, but they have a few. But I think they needed to, what is that? They got Tyler Myers. No. Yeah, they got Tyler Myers. They needed a team that they could kind of push around, and Anaheim's not that team. No. They got big. I mean, look at Getzlaf's like 6'8". Yeah. 700 pounds. I mean, he's a big boy. So I think Anaheim rolls in that series. You have a different thought based on goaltending. Now I know that's going to be a big factor for Anaheim, especially because they're playing. Andre Pavlik's been on fire too.
He's been outstanding, and no one saw it coming because Michael Hutchinson had that number 1 spot locked up in March.
Absolutely.
And out of nowhere, he just kind of pooped a brick. I don't
you heard it
know.
here first, guys. He pooped a brick.
He pooped a brick. He did. He crapped himself. And it just out of nowhere, Andrei Pavlik throws out 3 shutouts in a row, rolling on pretty decent teams too. But I also think not only that, but I think that home ice for Winnipeg is going to be an unreal environment, and they are not going to lose a game at home.
Yeah, for those of you guys who don't know this, Winnipeg is essentially the United Center up in Winnipeg. They go crazy up there. They do the same thing during the anthem. They basically have taken the Hawks mold and they've turned it into their own, and it's pretty cool. They have a fun environment up there. Actually one of the places I want to go see a game. Also, real quick, that series, I want to give a shout out to my former goalie back in juniors.
Yes.
Connor Hellebuck got the official call up to Winnipeg. This is a kid who was undrafted going into juniors. After his first year playing with our team, gets a full ride to UMass Lowell, takes him to 2 Frozen Fours, and then gets the old drop into the AHL, where he was an all-star this year.
This guy might be an all-star, but at least that guy's in the NHL right now.
Yeah, well, you know, screw me, right? All right, Vancouver, Nashville. Now, this is my Vancouver, Calgary. My apologies. This is I'm looking forward to this series in the Western Conference, I think, the most. Yeah. Because I love Calgary. I was actually really hoping Calgary was going to bomb this year so they could get McDavid or Eichel. But they just kind of, all their little midgets that they got with Hoodler and Goudreau and Monahan, they just kind of decided they wanted to win games. Mm-hmm. And Hiller and Ramo, they've actually been a pretty solid tandem duo this year. Mm-hmm.
Surprising.
Very surprising. Yeah. Not enough to take over a 2 or 1 spot, but I actually thought if they were going to get in, it was going to be a wild card. And they ended up in the 3rd spot. So, and then obviously I hate Vancouver, so I have Calgary winning this in 7 games. I think it's going to be a brawl, but you can never take anything away from the Sedins, especially with Verbata on their line. Yeah, that's going to be there. I mean, he's added so much to that team.
Yeah, I think he might be an X factor in that series, riding Verbata. But I mean, Johnny Hockey. Oh, he's got. But for just real quick, we're going to be doing another video here in the next day or so. That's going to be all our NHL awards, and if you ask me, it's between Johnny Hockey and Aaron Ekblad for the Rookie of the Year. Ekblad only because he stepped in as a rookie defenseman, but was such a big factor on that team. Yeah, but you also got to look at Mark Stone in Ottawa, what he's done over the past month. Yeah, helping get them into the playoffs. By the way, shout out to Mark Stone. You helped me win my fantasy hockey pool. Number 1 in the league, baby. Oh, that was fantastic. But then, you got Phil Forsberg, too, had a fantastic rookie season. He slowed down a little bit towards the end, but just because it's near the end of the season and it wasn't, he was the scariest guy on the Predators for a while.
Absolutely. He was on fire. So he's a guy that you got to watch out for, too, in that series against us.
But we'll get to that,
guys. We're going to get there. Don't worry about it. We're going to get to that. Yeah, come on. Calm down. All right, Eastern Conference. Now, if you ask me, guys, the Eastern Conference, they are the favorites this year. I think as good as the West is with St. Louis, Chicago, Anaheim, Minnesota, teams like that, I don't think, we'll just give it away. We chose Chicago to win that series, both of us. Surprise, guys. But with how good those teams are, your teams, your Montreals, with Carey Price. Yeah. God, I don't want to ever play him. New York Rangers have been on fire, and now they have a goalie tandem that they can use. Detroit's never a team you want to play in the playoffs. There's just a lot of good teams that are in there. Pittsburgh, you suck. Especially, but then again, you never know with Crosby's and Malkins. But let's start off with Montreal, Ottawa. Ottawa's hot. What do you think about this one?
I think this one's going to be interesting. I think everybody is picking Montreal, myself included.
Yes, I am with you, but I do think it's going to go a little bit longer in games.
Yes, and I think that if there is any series where there's going to be an upset, it's going to be that one. Mm-hmm. And Ottawa not only has to play the way that they've been playing, but also step it up a notch against Carey Price, because the teams that they have been playing have not been pricey and
No. That's not to take anything away from the Ottawa Senators, because what they did at the end of the season was magical. For them to get into the playoffs from where they were a month and a half ago. Yeah. It's like the Mets back when they won the World Series in the '80s. It's unreal what they did. They're a good team, but I don't think they have enough key players on their team. Right. I don't think they have exactly what it takes to go into a playoff series. Now, what is this? Their second year in a row? Third year in a row that they've been in the playoffs?
I think it was just two.
Two in a row?
Yeah.
Because, and I just don't think they're quite there yet, but I think this year will help push them over for next year.
Yeah.
And especially because they've done what they did this year to get into the playoffs, it's going to be big for next year. But I do think Montreal takes this series.
Yeah.
And now on to Tampa Bay and Detroit. Now, as you know, I hate Detroit, guys. They suck. The whole state of Michigan kind of sucks. Not kind of, it sucks.
It really does.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Yeah, outside of their golf, which I love up there, they have great golf. But outside of that whole place sucks. And without having that to do anything with it, we're going to go into...
We're really trying not to be too one-sided.
Yeah, no. But, actual, player-wise, I think they have the veterans. They really do. They've had Datsuk and Zetterberg who have been into 100 playoffs. They've made the playoffs for their 24th year in a row, which is an outstanding record, and you cannot take anything away from the Detroit Red Wings in that regard, because 24 years is unheard of. They only have, 4 Stanley Cups in that time? 4 for 24, guys. Come on, you got to work on that.
Brutal.
Kind of sucks.
Yeah.
But I think Tampa Bay, their key players are a lot better. I think your Stamkoses, your Plotts, your Tyler Johnsons, your Nikita Kucherov, who the hell was he at the beginning of this year?
Yeah, I know.
Your Victor Hedmans are going to be a little bit better than your Thomas Tatars, your Riley Sheehans, your Gustav Nyquist.
Who has been nowhere.
I was going to just say, after the season he had last year to the season he had this year, Thomas Tatar, don't get me, guys, Detroit's got good players, but Tomas Tatar is their leading goal scorer. He has...
Something wrong.
He was in the AHL last year, was a call-up. And then now he's the leading goal scorer on the Detroit. That's ridiculous.
It is.
So I just think that's going to be the problem. And then, they're starting Mrazek game 1.
Ugh.
Yeah, they've officially come out and said that they're starting Mrazek over...
But the thing is,
Jimmy.
I feel more confident that way, too.
Yeah,
Jimmy Howard is... You either get, the Vezina winning goaltender in Jimmy Howard, or the guy that doesn't know his left.
Yeah, 4 goals on 8 shots.
Yeah.
It's something stupid like that. All right, and then on to this next one, Rangers, Pittsburgh. I think the Rangers are going to use Pittsburgh like a beaten stepchild. So it's going to be bad. I think the Rangers just completely walk all over Pittsburgh, just because Rick Nash has taken his game to a new level. This year, with the amount, especially at the beginning of the year, with the amount of goals that he scored, it's a little slowed down towards the end, but I believe that his game is at another level than what it has been, kind of back to what you saw when he was in Columbus.
Yeah.
When
He's had a career high this year.
Yeah, he did. I believe he did. But and he had nobody in Columbus, and he was doing it all himself. And this year, he's got a lot of players to play with. And then with Pittsburgh, though, you never know, though. Right?
Honestly, you do, because playoff Marc-Andre Fleury is nothing special.
But he's had the best year he's had in a long time, too. That's my only thought. He's been so good, but he's had zero help up front. You have goal scorers. You have Patrick Hornquist, unreal goal scorer. He's a pretty good goal scorer. You got Sidney Crosby. Need I say more? You got Malkin. They were both in the top 10 in the league in scoring. And then you have... Who else do you have?
Well, he had Letang, but Letang got beheaded by Shane Doan.
Yeah, thanks, Shane Doan.
Whoopsie.
Yeah, how's your playoff? Again, this is the 800th year in a row. Arizona.
Brooks Orpik is gone. Washington.
Yeah, which
stole him.
Yeah.
They stole him.
Stole him. Great pickup by Washington, by the way.
That was really it.
That's it. That's all they're
now they're just done.
Yeah.
But honestly, Marc-Andre Fleury always has a great regular season, and then the playoffs come around, and he's shaking in his booties.
Yeah, I really. And you know what the worst part is? Is that isn't this a contract year for him?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, so this is he needs to, and the last few years it was Andre Fleury's fault. It was Mark's fault in the playoffs, and you could very easily see. I think the only way Pittsburgh's going to stay with him is if he plays well, and Pittsburgh just can't put the puck in the net,
right? Which
has happened all year. So. Except for their 2 guys, Malkin and Crosby. Weird.
I think
how that one works.
Injuries too are going to be huge for Pittsburgh here, because it's like every other day. Malkin's down with a wrist injury.
Crosby's missing 2 or 3 games.
Crosby's out with an ankle injury.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
And I feel so bad for poor Chris Letang, because I feel like he's going to be out of the league by the time he's 30, because he's got a stroke. He's had major concussion problems.
Yeah,
and now that he's got another one, and I don't know if you guys have seen this hit or not. It's not a bad hit. A lot of people are saying it's a bad hit, but Shane Doan, he went and he finished his hit, and that's all it was.
Coming.
Yeah,
didn't see it coming.
And that's all that was. So, but I do feel bad for him, and I do think that's gonna be one of the big reasons. There.
I don't like if I'm a player that's getting into the league, like going into a draft or unsigned free agent. I'm not going to Pittsburgh because people are almost dying on that team.
Are you kidding me?
Pascal Dupuis.
You have blood clots. You have strokes.
Pascal Dupuis got out of there before somebody stepped on his face or something.
Oh my
It would have
Lord!
been bad news for Pascal.
Not
Dupuis.
to mention, if there's two people that you need to watch out for in the NHL, one of them is Chris Kunitz because he's a scumbag, and then he's not on the Penguins anymore, but former Penguin Matt Cook. Scumbag of the Year award every year, Matt Cook. All right, guys. Washington Islanders. I took the Islanders in the series because I want to see a Rangers-Islanders series, and that's the only reason I took them in the series. Outside of that, and Tavares being Johnny Tavares, and one of the future faces of NHL if he's not already. Washington's got the definite advantage in this one with OB and Brooks Orpik and the way Holtby's been playing this year. I mean, it's gonna be tough. So
yeah,
your thoughts on that one? Because you took Washington, didn't you?
I took Washington because I'm looking to get that big screen TV from the NHL bracket. I'm in it to win it, y'all.
Is it the big screen TV you want, or you want that NHL awards? You trying to get second, or are you trying to?
I don't want the NHL awards. The NHL awards I could just watch on TV and fast forward through it. So I could do the fast forwarding on my new big screen TV. It all works out.
There you go.
It's beautiful.
Perfect. So we're shooting for second. I'm gonna be pissed if I get first.
But I mean, New York and Washington. That's gonna be a real close one. That's gonna be a fun one to watch. Because I don't like looking at myself.
I know. I'm sorry.
Can you put that away? Okay.
Time check there. Time check, baby.
All right.
Time check.
That was weird. New York has Tavares Okposo, who has a brand new eye now, so he's good to go. Nick Leddy at the point. They've got a lot of Anders Lee. That guy's unreal. So much firepower. But I don't think that they're gonna.
I don't think they do either. I do think that I want them to do it.
Yeah.
I think they have the ability. I think it's gonna be a good series. I think it's gonna be a very good series. I have it going 7 games. So.
I'm rooting for New York, but it's not gonna.
All right. We took a little bit longer doing that than I thought we were. So we're going to dive right into now Hawks Nashville, and then at the end here we'll give you guys our second round conference finals and Stanley Cup pick. All right.
I'll try and be quick.
Yeah, well, you know, if this video goes 30 minutes, it goes 30 minutes. I'm sure you guys will watch it. If you're this far in and you're not going to finish it, you kind of suck. So, yeah. All right. So, guys, big thing here. The Hawks, we're playing the Predators, all right? And we don't have home ice. We're on the road, correct?
Yeah.
So we do have to play the first 2 games in Nashville, which is not necessarily going on the road.
It's really not. There's going to be 7 home games, no matter how much Nashville tries to kick us out.
Yeah, and
there's going to be
and there's you can go to Kroger down there and buy 4 glass seats if you feel like it. But on top of that, did you hear what they were trying to do for the national anthem?
I did hear about that.
They're going to have the entire stadium sing the national anthem so they can drone out Hawks fans.
I'd say the Hawks can be as loud as humanly possible.
And as they will be. All right. But let's jump into some numbers here. I know one of the big factors in this series is going to be always special teams. When it comes to playoffs, it's special teams. And especially in the playoffs, you're not in trouble until you lose at home. Right?
Yeah.
Okay? So the Hawks, if they can win one of these first games, then then Nashville's in trouble because they have to come back to the
because then we get home ice advantage. We take the home ice.
Yeah, that transfers away, especially if they can win the first game.
Yeah.
Nashville's coming into the series, guys, on a 6-game losing streak. 4 of those games to non-playoff teams. 2 of them were in overtime, but 4 of them to non-playoff teams, and they've not looked good in any of them.
No, not at all.
Yeah. And the Hawks, yes, we are 4-game losing streak. Let's remember who we were playing. Minnesota dying to get into the playoffs. St. Louis wanting that first spot. St. Louis wanting that first spot, and then an already clinched game with Darling and Net and half our team playing 5 minutes.
And let's also mark on the fact that in the last 4 games, we've had more people come up from Rockford and signees like Vaughn and Pallotta, I think his name is. I can't remember. I didn't really watch the game on against Colorado, but we were already clinched. We really weren't putting too much.
Yeah, but with this with the special teams here, because it's such a big factor, the Hawks are 17.6% on the power play, which is good for 20th in the league.
I don't get that logic.
You know what? And I think a little bit of it has to do. I do remember them being better at the beginning of the year when Gainer was around. It definitely helps Patrick Kane on your power play.
But still, having Taves, Sharp, Hossa, Keith on the point, Shaw, and
not mention Teravine and getting into his role as a player.
So bad.
You know what? It's one of the things.
It doesn't make sense.
It's it's so crazy. My mind is trapped in a bottle. It's mind bottling. I know that's not the phrase, guys.
It's not.
Yeah, it's not.
Don't do that. We're gonna cut that out.
Yeah, no, we're not. No, we're not.
We don't know how to edit.
We're running this on a webcam. All right. But another thing that I know you wanted to bring up was our penalty kill. Our penalty kill has dropped from first in the NHL to 10th in the NHL, and most of it has been in the last 2 months of the season.
Yeah. What the hell?
Yeah.
What the hell happened? I don't know. You know what happened? Ben Smith got traded. That's what happened.
Look, I'm not kidding. Look, I'm all for the Ben Smith trade. Mainly because we were moving cap space, and Ben Smith, he's gonna go play. He's gonna find.
He'll actually get playing.
Yeah,
San Jose.
So, yeah.
He'll be a better player.
Especially with what San Jose is about to do in this offseason, Ben Smith will find his place.
Yes, he will.
Especially if they trade for him. But Nashville is 18th in the NHL in their penalty kill, which means that we need to take our 20th ranked power play and score on the 18th ranked penalty kill, which is pretty even if you ask me. So we need to do a lot better. And I was bringing this up last video. I know not a lot of people saw it because I didn't post it, so I saw it. But
it's there for me.
Yeah. But what the Hawks need to do is they need to simplify it. Right? They need to get the puck to the point, make a couple quick passes, and get shots with traffic. But they don't do that. You always see Hossa get that puck on that, or Taves get that puck on that far side, and they're looking to feed it back across the side to Hossa or vice versa. Right. They're not getting that quick shot that they can and looking just for a tip. And that's, if you simplify it, you get shots to that, you're gonna get a goal.
That the fact that they're stationary, nobody's moving. They're all staying in the spot. They're all sitting in the same spot. No one moves ever.
No.
Ever. So, and then shots go from the point, get blocked, break away the other way, short-handed goal. Don't even get me started on the short-handed attempts that people have had against us in the past couple weeks.
No.
Insane.
No. And I know, and that's going to be, but I mean, that right there, guys, our penalty kill and our power play is going to be the biggest factor into this series. And it was the last time we had played the Hawks, or the Predators, during the Hawks' first run to the Cup. But we also had home ice that time.
Yeah,
so cool. that's gonna be a decent one. Shout out to Marian Hossa for getting a penalty with a minute left in the game. And
best game I've ever seen.
And getting an overtime game winner.
The best.
Please don't do that again. One of the things that I didn't know, we're gonna get into a little bit of advanced stats here real quick, guys. The Hawks have the second most shots attempted in the game. Now, that's just shots attempted. That is not shots on net, where their numbers fall off a little bit. Their shooting efficiency is down into the 19th or 10th. Their shooting efficiency is down to 10th. So awesome. It's still pretty good. But
when you are second in the league in shot attempts for per game with 62.2 shots per game,
that's a lot of shots.
That's a lot of shots. Something's got to get through there.
Now, one of the things I will have to do, you have to credit the NHL hockey players, because Nashville is 6th with 59.5 shots attempts per game, and their shooting efficiency is 18th actually. They are 18th. So it's just you have to give credit to the shot blockers in the NHL, because that's what a lot of it is.
Right.
It's block shots. And as we saw, was a big factor in the LA Hawks series last year. Mm-hmm. When you don't get shots through to the net, you don't score goals. So that's going to be one of the things that we need to do, is get shots to the net, especially because Pecorine, as you can probably attest to this year, because you probably know more about goalies than I ever will, being one. Yeah. Pekka is not having the best season, is he?
He was unreal, and then
they kind of just fell off the map. Their whole team.
He tweaked his leg, but I feel like the team really hasn't changed. It's just that he was stealing games. He was basically the Pekka Rice. Carey Price. It's been a long day. Carey Price of Western Conference. He was unreal for the Preds. He stole so many games for them, like that game against San Jose when he had that one sequence where he made like 5 saves in 2 seconds, and he was going everywhere.
Desperation save, whistle.
Hasn't done anything like that since he came back from his injury. No. So I think he's still a little hurt, came back a little too early, hasn't quite healed yet, which is what I think might be happening to Kane.
Yeah, and actually, we're going to jump into that right now.
See?
I know. So look at you. Nice transition. It's like you're going to college for this. But guys, we have word today that Kaner has officially been cleared to play. He's might not play the first game, but he's been cleared to play. We have different opinions on this.
Yes.
I'm all for it. It's the playoffs. If he wants to be back, if the doctors that have been, gone to college for quite a bit of time, been trained in this field, if they think that he is cleared for contact and that he is okay and he feels comfortable and the training staff allows him to play and he's taking the contact, I think I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I know that he's way ahead of schedule. And that's scary a little bit. And that's what's scaring you. Yeah. But I think that...
Yeah, Johnny.
Yeah, I think that at this point in the year, what else do you have? Because if he goes out for another 12 weeks in the Hawks' first series, what the hell is the difference,
Well, the thing that makes me nervous is the fact that this is per Mark Lazarus and Blackhawks for sometimes. He said that it was thought, speculated before the official word came out that it was going to be 8 to 12 weeks for Kane's recovery. Doctor came out and said, no, not 8 to 12, it's going to be exactly 12 weeks. This is week 6, you guys. 6. We are halfway through this stupid thing, and he's already come back. And it makes me nervous because a week and a half ago, the guy couldn't lift his arm over his head for a one-timer.
Well, no,
now he's starting to take contact. Well, he's bumped Antoine Vermette off the second line in practice today. I don't get it.
I want to say that he was taking one-timers last week. He was taking one-timers, he was taking slap shots, he was taking red shots, and this was...
But he had just started.
Yes. But and I know there's a big difference between, especially with the shoulder injury, because shoulder injuries suck, guys. It's the amount of time, because you feel ready to go. I've had one. You feel ready to go, and... but your bones aren't there. Your muscles aren't ready yet because you haven't done anything with your shoulder. So when you start taking shots and it feels good, you might not be ready for contact yet. And that was the big thing. When I first heard he was taking shots, I was like, okay, but he's not ready, obviously. Right. And then in the last 4 days, he's gone from taking contact to being cleared. And I'm fine with that because I think that the people that the Hawks have on their medical staff are above and beyond, what most of us get during our regular medical treatment, a lot different. So, yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about. Yeah. But I do think that with the medical staff they have, it's going to be nice to at least, I don't care if he plays game 1. I don't care if he plays game 1. I don't care if he plays game 2. But if we can get him in this Predators series at all, it's going to be nice to have.
It eases my mind that the doctors say he's all right. That, before then, though, I was freaking out. I was absolutely tweaking.
Well, I understand, obviously.
Because the doctors have given him the all clear, I think they're going to wait him out and see, get a feel on the series, maybe the first game or 2, see how we're doing, if we're struggling to throw him in there.
Yeah, and I mean, if the Hawks...
He's not going to be the same Patrick Kane that he was when he...
No, guys, we're not getting potential Hart Trophy Patrick Kane.
He's going to be rusty.
He hasn't played a game in, what, 6 weeks? Yeah. Since, whatever that was that got him hurt. Dive, fall, I don't know what the hell it was.
It was extra both, in my opinion.
Not the best play by him. Not the best play by the defenseman either.
No.
But I do agree with you in the saying that if the Hawks are winning, if the Hawks come out in Nashville 2-0, don't play him.
No reason
to play Patrick Kane because you're going to go back home. And again, you're not in trouble in the playoffs until you lose at home. Mm-hmm. And if you go back and you drop game 1, and then you drop game 3 and 4 at home, then I can see you throwing it back in there. But if you're up 2-0 and you win one of the games at home, don't even bother. Save him.
Yeah.
Maybe throw him in the last game just because. Give him some ice.
The game that he's going to come in, they're going to be aiming for him. He is going to get leveled.
Oh, and as they should. I mean, as any team. If they had Forsberg coming back, if they had Shea Weber coming back into the game, then he would be, target number 1. I mean, this is sports. You're not supposed to be nice. I mean, Michael Sherman takes shots at people's faces if they go down on, if they dive, block a shot. He says if you're not going to get it through, at least hit him in the face.
I'm still pissed at you for that.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry, dude. It wasn't my fault.
I'm just saying.
Don't dive in front of my shot.
3 teams.
At 15-14, so calm down. All right, guys. We're going to get into a few key players that we think for each team. I have a couple different ones in poetzy does, especially for the Hawks.
Yeah.
And we're going to give poetzy. What do you think for Nashville? What do you got for Nashville here? Who are your key players?
Well, obviously, you go nowhere unless you all got goaltending. So, Pecorine is going to be an X factor. He needs to be the Pecorine of pre-injury, which he's not going to be.
Which is unfortunate because
he really is, because he was phenomenal, and he's still a great goaltender. He just was not where he was.
No, yeah, but he is still good. I mean, it's when you compare him to a lot of the other goalies in the NHL, he's still very good. But
it's not going to be a cakewalk.
It's better than Frederick Anderson. That much.
Well, that's
talk, but
that's a piece of paper. Is also better than Frederick Anderson. But and that's a starting goaltender for the Ducks. Look at me. So anyway, Pecorine is going to be a huge factor in that, and I also think James Neal is going to be big because he's been big against the Blackhawks this year. Had a couple games, a couple goals against the Hawks in the game at home, and he came back and shootout one. Had a hat trick in Nashville. First time we were in Nashville, just totally took over that game. I think he's going to have a big series. We got to get him on lockdown.
Yeah, and I agree with both the guys that you say. I think James Neal is going to be a huge factor in that series, as well as Pekka, because Pekka is going to really determine how they play. I'm going to go with their D-core. They got Shea Weber, who's a fantastic defenseman. I think if he plays the game that he can play, especially paired with Seth Jones.
But he was also hurt.
Yes,
recently.
He was hurt recently. I actually forgot.
We don't know.
We don't know if Seth Jones can play, but I think if he does...
no, I was talking about Weber.
Oh, Weber. Oh, yeah, I know.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. He was. It was Weber that was hurt. But, regardless, him playing is a key factor in that game, and him playing the, potential Norris Trophy Shea Weber of the past is also going to be a key factor in that. And because, you got goalie, you got defense, you got forwards. And your defense and goalies are a huge part of your sailing. I mean, look at Duncan Keith on the runs that the Hawks have had to the Cups. I mean, this year he was a Norris Trophy winner, I believe. And last year they made the run. Probably would have won the Cup if they didn't lose that light.
Stupid Nick Lenny.
Hate Alex Martinez.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah. Also hate the wrong way. What? Also another key player I think is Philip Forsberg. With the way he started the season off, and that he was, not only was he just the leading goalkeeper, he was one of the top point getters in the NHL at a time. If he plays well, he's the guy to target. If we're playing St. Louis, you got to target Vlad, and you got to target Steve. If we're playing Nashville, you got to target James Neal. You got to target Philip Forsberg. And that's to me what it is.
And the great thing about the playoffs is that although they didn't end on the best, of terms in the regular season, some of these guys be a completely different story in the postseason. Like they could just turn it on just because it's the playoffs.
Well, yeah, and I mean the Hawks are losing 4 in a row, and the Nationals coming in on 6 in a row. Someone's got to win this game. So somebody's breaking their losing streak. It's going to be the Hawks if you ask me in the first game. I think they come in there, especially with the pedigree that they have in the playoffs and the experience they have, and I think fearless leader. Yeah, and by the way, let's not just talk about Preds. Who are your Hawks? Clicks the pick. Clicks the pick, guys. Clicks the pick. Picks the click. Maybe, you never know.
Definitely Johnny Taves, but my main guy, and half of Chicago's going to hate me for it, Corey Crawford, the William and Jennings co-winner for this year.
Not to mention
one time.
Yeah,
in his career.
Not to mention what did him in the
2013. Him and Ray Emery. Poor guy can win it on his own now.
I know he has. That's so bad for him. I'm 100% with you on that one. Crawford's gonna be huge. Right, I gotta ask you: is his glove gonna be a factor?
His glove is never a factor. It really is not a factor. If you look at that, it's God. It makes me so God.
Yeah, that's a goal about another goal. Look at this.
His glove is not a factor, but the fact that people keep on oh my God, his glove is terrible. His glove is terrible. People keep shooting it there, and the higher percentage that they're going to shoot there, the higher the percentage is that they're going to score.
Do you think the media's take on his glove side and how they think that it's the worst side? Do you think that's getting to him?
Absolutely not. If anything, it probably makes him
more
better. Yeah,
I can see that.
Absolutely.
I'm with you with Taves, obviously. I'm with you with Crawford, obviously. I mean, like you said, goaltending every series is going to be huge. You don't win a championship without good goaltending. Great goaltending. And then I'm going to go with a guy who's been on, I think he's elevated his game. I said this in previous videos. I think he's elevated his game tremendously the last part of the season. Marian Hossa. Yeah. I think if Marianosa plays the way that he did during the 2010 Cup run, I think that the Hawks have a great opportunity. Mm-hmm. And then my second guy outside of the other two, obviously, Vermette. I think Vermette, the fact we have a second-line center, and we haven't had a second-line center in the playoffs is going to be a big factor. Not to mention, the Hawks are fifth in the league in face-off percentage now. They have one, exactly. But Vermette too. Vermette wins his draws for the most part.
I don't know.
He's better than what we've had.
He is, but he's been getting his butt whooped in a couple.
Yes, but
there's a couple games when I looked at it and he was like,
I do think
3 and 15.
I do think they'll go against the 21st ranked face-off team in the league. I think they're going to be. I think we're going to be just fine on that. But face-offs, I mean, a lot of the guys. I don't know if people. If you guys haven't played the game, face-offs are very important. Mm-hmm. Because if you are in the offensive zone and you win the face-off, congratulations, you have possession of the puck in the offensive zone like that.
That's also key on power play.
And it's huge on a power play, especially on the power play, and especially on the penalty kill. If you lose a draw on the penalty kill in your zone, guess what? They have the puck, and they already have their power play set up. Yeah. They're ready to go. I mean, it takes the defenseman walking to the middle and a winger shifting for your power play to be set up into an umbrella.
That's a second.
It's 1 second. That's how good I am. I am. No.
15 and 4.
20.
22, 15 and 22?
No, it's 2014, so it's...
No, I'm looking ahead.
Oh, yeah, no. Mm-hmm. If I'm playing hockey in 2022, I'll
give
you
a
call.
You'll be right here.
I'm going to be doing this in 2022.
I'll be right here with you.
All right, guys, real quick, we're going to jump right into the end of it. This is a long video. Thanks for staying with us, guys. Yeah. Hawks Blues, who do you got?
I got Blackhawks.
How many games?
I got 7.
I have 7 as well because the Blues and the Hawks is going to become a huge rivalry. I mean, it already is. Duh. Mm-hmm. But with the way the new playoff system is set up, it's going to be an even bigger rivalry.
This might not wake up this time.
Yo, wakey back.
Might not wake up. We're not sure.
If Seabrook did that again, oh my god, I would love him for the rest of my life.
He would get shot if he ever went to St. Louis.
Oh, he would leave St. Louis. Anaheim, Calgary. Or Anaheim, who did you have in that series?
What do you in Vancouver, Calgary?
Yeah.
I had Calgary.
So Anaheim, Calgary.
Anaheim, Calgary. I had Calgary coming out of this one just because
you got goaltending issues with
Anderson. I got goaltending issues with Anderson, and I love the high power offense from Calgary. Love it. And the defense, too.
Can't argue with you there.
Even though Giordano's not going to come back. That's going to be pretty big. That's why they're going to get knocked out. But we're not talking about that.
Gotta stretch, guys. Gotta stretch. I took Anaheim in that one just because, I mean, they're so damn good. They're just, when you got players like Perry and Getzlav, I mean,
they have,
and not to mention,
they're fantastic.
They have 7 defensemen that they're rotating through 6 guys. So, I mean, they're unreal. Did you take Detroit or Tampa?
I took Tampa.
You took Tampa. So Montreal or Tampa?
I have Montreal.
Yeah, I'm with
Carey Price. That's all you have to say. That's all you have to say.
Hey, guys, goaltending wins championships. Carey Price, goaltending championships. Islanders or Rangers and Washington for you?
I have the Rangers coming out of that one.
I also have the Rangers. I have them taking on the Islanders. Sorry, guys. I do feel like it's going to take 6 games, and that's going to hurt. The last game that ever is played in Nassau Coliseum is going to be a loss. Sorry to say that, guys, but I think that takes 6 games because that is such an awesome rivalry, and that it's going to, that just
the whole
sucks.
thing with Nassau, I understand it's sad that it's closed after such a long time, but they're moving into Barclays.
Well, I know, but they're going to Brooklyn, and they were in Long Island, and they're the Long Island Islanders. I get
Monopoly, huh?
I just think there's so much history there for Stanley Cups back to back. I mean, that's a lot of stuff there. And that was right when they became in the league, and they took, there's a lot of. I can go on. I can talk about Islanders.
I get it, but I'm also pretty happy that I'm getting the hell out of there.
Hawks, that place is a dump though. Yeah. Let's not get that confused anything. It's not like it's their.
Only thing worse is the Joe.
Joe is a dump as well.
But
Detroit, get it? It's okay. It's everything in Detroit sucks.
Terrible.
The entire city's a project. so continue on. Chicago and Calgary.
Yeah, I'm trying not to be a home here, but I look at all the teams that are in the Western Conference. None of them are as good as the Hawks with or without Kane.
Yeah.
I don't see it.
All right.
See it.
I'm going to get a lot of heat here.
Yes, you are.
I'm going to get a lot of heat.
Yes, you are.
So I'm the Hawks talk. Yeah, it's going to be poetzy shit for this, guys. I have Anaheim beating the Blackhawks, guys. I just think with the offensive firepower that they have and the season that they've had, regardless, they got where they were with the goaltending that they have.
Yeah.
And I mean, regardless that it's like 5 more points than the Hawks ended up with, 7 more points, whatever it was, I do think that they are a better team. I think they're a more physical team. It's kind of like Winnipeg, where they can bang and they can go, and not to mention those guys on that team also have that presence in the playoffs. They've been there. They have the experience. It's going to be a different show. I can get into a lot more detail in a later show, but I do have Anaheim beating the Hawks. For now, I have to Wednesday to submit my pick.
I just wanted to let you know, Ducks have scored 1 goal all year against the Hawks in 2 games.
Okay, well, what was that? Boston
I'm pretty sure 1 goal. I might be wrong. I could be wrong. But
Boston scored 0 against like Philly or something like that?
Yeah. Look where they are.
Oh yeah, Boston. Great year. Hey, by the way, shout out to Mike Milbury. Want to do this? Who picked the Kings of Bruins in the finals, both of which are fucking done. Excuse my French, but they are. I'm so excited because I hate the Kings. And talk about scumbag city with Boston. It's so nice to see neither of them in the playoffs. Mike Milbury, you're kind of an idiot for that one. But
I'm happy that the very last game at TD Garden this year was the NCAA championship between BU and Providence.
Yo, seriously.
Real happy about that.
Shout out to Providence. Good one. And then in your finals, you got Montreal, Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
You take Chicago for the winner, obviously.
I do, but skin of teeth. By the hair of the chin.
Oh, this is probably going to be a year where we see 7-game finals.
Yeah.
It's not going to be last year where it's going to be LA, who was way favored going into the finals. This is going to be a 7-game series. And I have Ducks Montreal, and I have Montreal. Shout out Canada. First time you guys are going to get Stanley Cup since like the 1800s.
I would love to see that.
And not to mention,
love it.
you got the most winning organization in the entire history of sports about to take home another Stanley Cup. Did they beat the Yankees? They do beat the Yankees. I do think they have more than the Yankees.
I don't know. I think
hold on,
close.
guys. We're going to stay with us. Most championships.
Uh-oh. SGs.com. CH. Or SH.
Yeah, see? That's what I did.
S. I'm looking at what you did, and I'm trying to figure
out.
Why would
hold on. Stay with us here. But I do think... which sports teams? Not the Packers. They've definitely won more than the Canadians. I do believe it's the Canadians.
Yankees have 27.
Then it might be really a little bit out of that. I think the Yankees beat them. If they have 27, let's just.
I think Montreal has 21.
Montreal Canadiens Stanley Cup. Yeah. Sorry, guys. This is super unprofessional.
This is really important, though.
This is super.
That's real important.
What is this?
Okay.
I just want to see their championships, guys. This shouldn't be as hard as it is.
It really isn't. Okay, wait. Are you? Hang on. I'm gonna take over for you.
All right, hold on, guys.
Hang on. I'm just gonna click on Montreal Canadiens Wikipedia because it comes up on the little info page.
Yeah, it should. That's what I thought.
Here we go.
Oh, 24. So
they're down by 3.
So down by 2 after this year.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Glad you guys got to meet Poetzy for the first time. Thanks for listening to Hawks Talk. Share this with your friends. If you got any questions or comments, please leave them below or on my Facebook, which I will share this with you guys. If you're not my Facebook friend, it sucks.
Not my Facebook friend, you're not missing much.
Well, obviously, if you're not my Facebook friend, you're probably not watching this either.
That's true. That's accurate.
But like I said, if you got any questions, comments, you want to hear anything from the next show, please just let me know. Let us know. We will do that for you. Have a great next couple days. We won't see you guys for the next couple days. We'll be doing
after the first
game. Yeah, we'll probably wait after the first game. We'll probably try to give you guys each game scenario as we update our way to.
It's gonna be like a Skype session though.
yeah, it'll be live coverage.
As we're watching the game, that would be so cool.
That would not be that good.
That would suck because it's a 3-hour long podcast.
Hey, it went 45 here. I was surprised. Hey, we were sitting here, guys. We're trying to get to 20 or 30 minutes. 45 minutes later, we're finishing up.
In my head, I'm going, God, this is gonna be hard to fill 20 minutes of just bull crap.
No, it's
45 minutes later. Here we are.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, all right, guys. Take it easy. See you in a couple days.
Thanks, guys. See ya.